So no, you haven't seen the presentation, have you?
No, I'm going to be seeing that later on. Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
This is the last day, so and we get better each day. First day was a little rough, a little tired. You know, I forgot the name of the Sony move, and I call it the Sony thing. People would give me a hard time with that for 2 days.
Oh
So third day, I'll be on.
That's good. We'll get the best presentation.
Presentation, yes.
That's fine. Okay, so Tim Willits
Yes.
of id. Why Rage? Why do you choose to focus on Rage at the moment?
Yes, well, that is a great question. You know, and people say, you know, you guys invented the first-person genre, and you have Wolfenstein, Doom, Quake. You know, you don't have enough people to take advantage of all these games. Why make a new one? You know, for us, when we were looking at what id Tech 5, the new technology, can do, we were looking at our past games. We knew the technology would allow us to do something different, so we thought, you know, let's do something really different. And we wanted to also not follow, you know, the very similar paradigm that we followed in the past. We've had, you know, Nazis, demons, aliens, and we didn't want to have just mutants. So with Rage, you know, at its core, it's still a first-person game. If you're a fan of id Software, you know that it'll have good, intense first-person action, but we've added these other elements to it to make the experience more, you know, more in depth. You know, it's more well-rounded game. We have vehicle combat, vehicle racing. We have, you know, a whole host of interesting characters that you'll interact with. We have a better story. And the technology allows us to make every area unique and different and have its own special personality. So we've also tried to do that with the gameplay, you know, with the different bandits and the different mutants and things. So we're really excited about all the small pieces of what Rage is.
That's cool. How long has it been roughly in development for?
Quite a while, actually. You know, one of the things that we do is we develop technology and the game. So the development cycles are like this, and you know, and half of it is technology development, and then we actually start work on the game. And what we did as a company, you know, we recently were acquired by the Bethesda ZeniMax family, and that relationship was attractive to us because now we have the ability to build other teams. So everyone knows we have a second team working on Doom, and they're working with id Tech 5, and they've learned from our mistakes, and they've learned our methods. So instead of having these development times that are this long, you know, in the future, you know, we want to make them this long and kind of jump. So Rage, well, it's been development for, what, 3-4 years?
That's cool. What were your reasons for the setting, and were there any major influences, like Mad Max or something?
Yes. You know, the setting in Rage, when we were looking at a prototype that John Carmack was developing with the new technology, we saw the potential to create larger areas, you know, larger outdoor areas. And if you have a large outdoor area, you want to drive around in it. But you want to drive around in cool muscle cars. And if you have a cool muscle car, you want to put guns on it. You know, so you can start to narrow your focus.
Yeah.
And we also, because we're in software, we like BFG style weapons and over the top things. So we like a little sci-fi, you know, in our games. So if you have muscle cars, machine guns on muscle cars, and sci-fi elements, there's very few genres that actually, not genre settings to actually, you know, focus on. So we picked the post-apocalyptic setting. And we started this quite a while ago, before everyone else started doing the same thing. We felt that the asteroid was neat because Apophis is the name of the asteroid in Rage that hits the Earth. And Apophis is also a name of an asteroid that passes by Earth in about 2036. So I hear that it's not going to hit Earth, but that just could be the government covering that up. You know, it could actually hit us in 2036. So we thought it was neat to put a little realistic science.
A little bit of science in it, yeah.
Yes, behind the fiction of the game.
That's cool. That's good. One of my people would love to hear that.
Yes.
Put some science into it.
Yeah. So they tell if you Google Apophis asteroid, you'll hear all the. Again, they say it's small and say it's going to miss, but I also read that I think it's the Russians. The Russians or the Chinese. Can't remember, one of the two. I think they're going to send a probe up. So why are they sending a probe up? if it's just gonna miss us. You see, there could be something going on.
Could be. So it's coming out quite a similar time to like third-person shooter, like Gears of War 3.
Yes,
Sometime.
yes. Well, actually, now they're coming out because we
It's like-
called September before they called.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because of course
Because
they were March before, weren't they?
Yes,
So,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Do you think that will harm your?
Oh no.
Because to be fair,
Yes.
I think it's a lot better development than the guys at Epic.
Oh boy, Cliff would be sad to hear that.
Quake
Yes,
has always
yes.
been better than Unreal.
No, I mean, again, our philosophy is make the best games that we can. And we don't need other games to suck to make our games good. And so, as game players, we play everything. There's lots of people out there and that buy the games. So, again, we just want to focus on making the best game we can. And if something comes out at the same time, not a problem.
That's cool. What's the favorite game you've worked on out of your age career?
Oh boy. Well, obviously it's Rage, but
Ignore
games that
Rage.
shipped.
Yes.
Quake 2 has a very special place in my heart. Doom 3 was also a great game. I mean, every game has a unique flavor to it. Quake for me, many people believe that Doom was actually it was very influential to the industry. But I personally feel that actually Quake 1 was more influential because it spawned, dedicated server action gaming, clans, dedicated web page, web pages dedicated to gaming, events like this event. I think originally Eurogamer was called Euro Quake or something, and QuakeCon.
Yeah.
And what's funny is when we were developing Quake, contrary to what anyone will tell you, we had no clue that it was going to do what it did to the industry. We never envisioned clans. We never envisioned competitive gaming. We never envisioned 10,000 member conventions dedicated to LAN parties focused around Quake. But it's very exciting to work at id Software and be involved in these games that have made such an impact.
That's good. So you started out in kind of the modding community.
Mm-hmm.
So when you jumped into it and they grabbed you, how that happened?
There wasn't a lot of grabbing.
What kind of position did you start off in? Were you level design? Or?
Yes. When I heard
kind
it,
of worked your way up.
Yes, when I heard at id, I was just a level designer. First, I was a contractor, and then I worked with a company called Rogue Entertainment on Strife, and they were working with id, and then I went over and worked at id, and then just kind of worked my way out. So, but it is really exciting. I mean, I love what I do. Been at id, since '95. I don't plan on going anywhere else. This is all I know how to do, and it's very exciting to work in a company for so long and still love what you do.
That's a good thing. What I don't know if you can answer this. I don't know. What do you think the successes and failures of Doom 3 were?
Successes and failures.
If any failures.
No, it's a perfect game. Absolutely perfect. Yes, the flashlight, be nice to, but it was really, at the time, we were pushing technology and computers to such a level that most computers weren't going to be able to actually have a dynamic light, on the weapon at all times. So that was actually the technical reason why the flashlight was separated. But no, the spirit of the game was great. It was if you were a true Doom fan, you saw the homages there. It was sold well, very successful, great new technology, first technology to really take advantage of bump mapping, specular, height maps, and of course the unified lighting system. All those things are in all games today. They're standard. But we did it first.
You kind of set standards for everything.
Yes. So, and when we were developing Doom and we were working with this art path, it was difficult to find new artists because no one had ever made a high poly, low poly model, and they didn't even know what that was until John Carmack came up with it. So, there were definite technical challenges that now it's standard place. But when you develop new technology while you're developing a game, it's like closing your eyes and running as fast as you can through the woods, hoping you don't hit a tree. You might get whipped by a few branches, but luckily we've avoided big trees.
Lastly, going back onto Rage, do you think there will be a possibility of a demo being released before the game comes out?
Well, see, the problem
you
with...
haven't in the past, have you? Because Doom 3 never had it.
No, yes. The Rage would be even more difficult to demo because there's so many
There's so
components
much
to the game.
do to it.
Yeah, I mean, even in the demonstration that we had here, we cut out the racing portion of the demo just because we ran out of, we don't have enough time. So it would be such a huge download, huge demo that it probably wouldn't really be
So it's
effective.
going to be just be demoed at shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's probably the most effective fit. Yes.
Awesome.
That good?
Would you have anything to? No. No, that was awesome. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.